This video is part 2 in our exploration of drawing the popcorn with charcoal pencils. In video part 1, we had completed the white outline with the white highlights. And so we will proceed to consider our value chart that we had created. Now we're working on developing some range of grays and some dark tones. And I'm going to introduce the black pencil to start with. So I want to just jump right in with the black pencil. And I think I'm going to start here. At first, I'm going to hold my pencil loosely. I'm not gripping it like this. That would be more for details or perhaps getting a very dark tone. So I'm going to hold it loosely and just place some darker values all over where I see them. While it is okay to work in one area at a time, working the whole, viewing the whole piece does allow you to see the drawing as a whole instead of just parts. I am working at my own pace. The beauty of this video is that you can slow it down, you can rewind, you can rewatch any parts that you want. Remember always using the side of a sharpened pencil. A rounded direction for this always works better simply because you're reducing those pencil streaks. Remember we talked about not doing this. You don't want to do straight lines. You don't want to have pencil streaks. We say no. We say no to that. Okay? We want to go in a soft rounded direction. And that helps to eliminate any chance of harsh shadows. Okay, so that's just a beginning part with adding some black. Now that's obviously, it's just white and black. So I'm going to go in with my white and start to create some grays where I had put the black. Because that's more accurate in the photo, right? There are some tones that are quite dark, that almost reach into a deep, deep gray, almost a black. And so I'll show that. Circular motion, side of a sharpened pencil. And then I know I'm going to be lightening up some of this too much. And I can go back with my black. At this point, I have actually every surface covered. Every surface of my drawing has some kind of value on it. So nothing is bare. That's a good place to start. When you're thinking about, okay, what should I do next? Well, you're kind of taking it to the next step by refining. So after you have your first kind of layer over everything, then you can go back and get more specific. So I'm coming in and refining some edges. Some edges are sharp. Some edges are softer. More blurred almost. There's little peaks of dark here and there like this. It's very subtle. but it's going to make my piece look so much more realistic. There's kind of this triangle of dark shadow right there with a bright pop of white above it. Here's the rules that we talked about when it came to our charcoal chart. We had said that the pencils do the work to blend the values. And I said that no blending tools allowed. I'd recommend trying not to use anything to blend. Use the pencils to do the work. So the same thing that we thought of here applies to our drawing as well. So throughout all my drawings of this popcorn, I have not used anything to blend besides the pencils. I didn't use tissue or fingertip or anything that we traditionally had used in the past, like to blend the graphite. I did not use. So if you can do pure shading and allow the pencils to do the work of the shading or the blending, then you've really learned an important skill. Because actually the blending can actually take off if I were to rub this with my finger and blend it, it would come off on my finger. So it would blend it a little bit, but it would also like pick it up off the paper. And obviously I do not want that. So if you feel, in your opinion, like you want to use a little bit of a blender and that works for you, then go ahead. It's not like there's an absolute right or wrong way to approach this. I'm just trying to develop my skills with pure shading instead of relying on a blending tool to reach my goal. Let's see. The best drawings that I'd seen, or at least students' work in progress, they had created very dramatic black and white. So keeping this dark, even though, yeah, it's a white object, really is dramatic and really tends to be extra unique and extra exciting in the end result. Let me think. So I have my basic, what I would call my basic values, where I want them. Could brighten up some of this white right here and here. So I'm adding another layer. I'm pressing a little bit harder. There's some very subtle, I'm just going as light as I can right here and right here. It's very subtle grays right there. You have to kind of be a detective in this stage. Now I have everything covered. I have my basic tones of light, bright white and light gray and medium gray and very dark. So now I'm kind of going to be a detective and use my, kind of magnifying glass skills to look a little closer. That often comes in by using the black pencil. I see like a sideways V shape right here. And then there's subtle. Just looking for textures. There's like some darker shapes in here. And some bright white shapes. Looking for those extra dark spots. Looking for those extra bright spots to give it that nice contrast. That's part of our goal as well. In here, there's some little edges. Because it's popcorn. It's a plant. It's natural, right? So it's not solid, perfect, puffy clouds. I just think this is a little too big right here. Kind of making my way around. That's what tends to give it character, that really looking for those little details, because we're not just drawing any piece of popcorn, we're drawing specifically this piece. Just like when we drew the pumpkin, we were drawing that specific pumpkin as opposed to just any old pumpkin. It was very specific. The pumpkin being our previous lesson. Oh, and then important step last, I almost forgot, is cast shadow down here. This will really create a surface for our popcorn to sit on. Ooh. So that it's not floating in space. So I'll start with just kind of outlining a little bit. It goes over about to here. And then up to here. Still aim for that circular direction. It just reduces the need to go back and fix and blend it. We're going to blend it as we do it. And I'm not going to even use any white in this cast shadow because it's pretty dark. But I really want to get it bold black right where it touches. So you can notice I changed my grip, holding it a little tighter. And then adding layers where it needs it. It's a little bit darker at the popcorn and then just kind of fades out a little bit. And we'll go with that. So any last touches? Oh, I think I could do cleaning up my edges. I feel like this looks very plain. Maybe it's just a little bit too bright. I'll dull it down a little bit. Some of my edges are a little harsh. Remember, ultimately, this is about trying. This is about trying something new. This is about putting in some effort and seeing what comes out of it. This is not about perfection. This is not about comparing yours to mine or anyone else's. Putting in the work, putting in the time and the effort to make something, you're already working in the right direction. Let's see. I think I'm pretty happy with that result right there as a final drawing. I like mine to be kind of a little sketchy. Everyone has their own style. Yeah, I think I'm going to end with that. I say that as I keep working, of course. Okay, so I'm going to go with that for my completed piece. If you can see it. Yeah. So take your time, work through it, look at the photo, develop those bright whites, those medium grays, and those very dark tones. Don't be afraid to go dark. Give it some drama. And good luck.